I was reviewing the final documents for the Atlas Quant buyout when my phone lit up near midnight. The message came from my father, Bartholomew Hale, delivered with the cold precision of a board memo. After a unanimous vote, you are removed from the Hale family beneficiary circle. Your lifestyle is incompatible with our legacy. A second notification followed almost instantly. My older brother Spencer had reacted to the announcement with a bright red heart, the same way he reacted to gala invitations or holiday menus. I stared at the screen, not blinking. The irony settled in slowly. I had just completed a deal that valued my company at $3.2 billion, yet my own family believed cutting me out of a modest trust would teach me a lesson. I did not cry or respond. The silence inside me felt steadier than anything I had carried in years. Another bubble appeared, this one from my father again. A single line stamped with authority. This decision is final. No explanation, no conversation, no hesitation, just a dismissal. I set my phone down, letting the reality sit where it belonged. For years, I had tried to earn a place in a family that had already decided I was ornamental at best, disposable at worst. If you have ever listened to a story where someone like me finally reaches a breaking point, stay with me. Let me know where you are listening from, especially if you have ever been the outsider in your own bloodline. What happened after that message changed everything, not because I fought back out of anger, but because I finally understood that I did not need their permission to exist. The night they cut me off was the night I stopped asking to be chosen. I picked up my phone again, not to answer them, but to open the quiet paper trail that had kept their world intact. For 8 years, I had funneled between $650,000 and $900,000 annually into Hale and Calder Publishing through a consulting proxy my family never bothered to investigate. My father once called me the child who never understood tradition. Yet his precious tradition had survived because I understood revenue cycles better than any of them. I whispered to myself, no more. At 12 minutes past midnight, I emailed my investment manager. Terminate the proxy agreement, effective immediately. A minute later, I canceled my Thanksgiving flight to Providence. Another message followed. Clear my schedule tomorrow morning. I need a full audit. As I typed, I imagined Spencer's reaction when the missing funds finally reached his inbox. His voice had a particular pitch whenever he realized the ground beneath him was shifting. I closed my laptop gently. This was not revenge. It was recognition finally seeing the truth of what I had been doing for them and what they had never done for me. The audit request pulled me back to a memory I had tried to bury. I was 23, fresh out of graduate school, still naive enough to believe honesty had a place in the Hale household. I had spent an entire weekend reviewing Hale and Calder's quarterly reports, hoping to impress my father. Instead, I found irregular author payouts and a series of miscellaneous expenses that did not match any legitimate ledger. I approached him in his study, holding the printouts like evidence in a courtroom. Dad, I think something is wrong in these accounts. I thought you should see. He did not look at the papers. He looked at me, sharp and offended. You brought this to me. You, Vivienne. You think you understand this business better than I do. I am not accusing you, I said quietly. I just wanted to help. His hand hit the desk. You have humiliated me. Do you realize that before I could speak, my mother, Eleanor, appeared in the doorway? Her voice shook. Vivienne, please stop. Your father cannot have this get out. Let it go. For the family. That night, she sent an email begging me to stay silent. I left Providence the next week. The memory still landed like a bruise. It explained everything about the woman I had become, and why the midnight message felt less like a loss and more like a liberation. My phone began buzzing before sunrise, vibrating across the nightstand like it had something urgent to confess. Spencer's name filled the screen again and again. By the 6th call, I finally answered, putting him on speaker while I tied my hair back. His voice came out frantic. Vivienne, The advance funding for our winter titles is gone. Payroll is short. Vendors are calling. What did you do? I let the question hang. You removed me from the family circle. I assumed you wanted financial independence. This is not a joke, he snapped. Fix it. That is what you do. Remember, you swoop in, clean up the mess, and pretend you are above all of us. I am not swooping anywhere today. There was a sharp inhale, then pure irritation. I will tell Dad. You always do. I ended the call, but the phone buzzed again almost instantly. This time it was a voicemail from my father. His tone was clipped, rehearsed, the same one he used when dressing down editors during board meetings. Vivienne, this behavior is childish. You will restore the funds immediately. You will call your brother and apologize. This ends now. I listened once, then deleted it. Moments later, a text from my mother appeared. Vivienne, please call your father. You know how he gets. Do not make this Thanksgiving harder. Spencer and Preston want you here. Not one word about me. Not one question. Their panic washed over me from hundreds of miles away, but it no longer dictated who I was. I opened my laptop and started a video call with my chief financial officer, Marcus, and our lead counsel, Dana. Both appeared on screen looking half awake and fully concerned. Marcus spoke first. Vivienne, it is barely morning. What happened? I need a full forensic audit. I said, every transaction between Atlas Quant Labs, the proxy fund, and Hale and Calder. 8 years back. Dana blinked hard. That is a serious request. Are we expecting litigation? Yes. Marcus frowned. Vivienne, this involves your family. I met his eyes through the camera. They disowned me last night. As of 11:47, they became a hostile entity. Dana straightened, her tone shifting immediately. Then we move fast. I will assemble the team. Good. I said, I want answers before they realize what they triggered. For the first time in years, the ground under my feet felt steady, not because my family held me in place, but because I had finally stepped out of their reach. Dana called me 2 days later, her voice tight enough to make my pulse slow. Vivienne, we found something. You need to sit down. I am already sitting. She exhaled. All right. First issue. Spencer accessed your company's manuscript prediction model. He used old engineer credentials and pulled data for his digital imprint pitch. IP theft, predictable, but still a punch. That is not all. Dana continued. He also submitted a contract to a private credit firm 3 months ago, a mezzanine lender out of New York. I waited. He claimed you were guaranteeing a loan of $3,800,000. Her voice did not waver. He used a DocuSign signature. Vivienne, it is your name. My breath left me in a single, controlled exhale. Marcus's voice joined the call. Grim. He listed $27.4 million of your restricted Class B shares as collateral. Shares that cannot legally be pledged, Dana added. The lender funded the loan immediately. The money is gone. Marketing hires, failed campaigns, a retreat in Miami, none of it recoverable. I closed my eyes briefly, and the cascade clause. That is the worst part, Marcus said. Because your father had already leveraged parts of the Townsend house and several archive assets. Spencer's loan triggered every dormant agreement. The family now owes $14.2 million, payable immediately. Dana lowered her voice. The lender is preparing to seize the Townsend house. They have already ordered valuations. I felt the shift inside me, a quiet, cold clarity. They had cut me off at midnight, not knowing they were standing on a fault line Spencer had created with my name. Dana waited. Vivienne, what do you want us to do? Everything, I said. We move on every piece of this. They wanted me gone. Now they will learn what that actually means. Jess, my assistant, buzzed my office line just after 9. Vivienne, There are 2 visitors in the lobby. They say their names are Bartholomew and Eleanor Hale. They do not have an appointment. I closed my eyes for a moment. Let them wait. I returned to my Series F expansion meeting, answered every question calmly, and signed off with a steady voice. Only then did I stand, straighten my blazer, and walk toward the elevators. When the doors opened into the atrium, I saw them immediately, my parents, dwarfed by the 22-foot data wall behind them. My father looked smaller than I remembered, his suit wrinkled from the flight. My mother clutched her handbag like it might anchor her. Bartholomew rushed forward first. "You will call the lender," he said, breathless. "You will fix this. They are using words like felony and fraudulent representations. Spencer could go to prison. Do you understand?" His panic filled the air, thick and frantic. "You will undo whatever your lawyers started. Today." I kept my hands in my pockets. "No." His face tightened. "I am not asking. I know. I said. You never ask. You decree." Eleanor stepped between us, her voice trembling. "Vivienne, please. This is your brother. Your father is terrified. We cannot survive this scandal." I looked at her carefully. "Did you ever consider surviving me? Or was that not something the Hale family needed?" Her eyes flickered, unsure whether to retreat or reach for me. I pulled out my phone and opened an old email, the one she sent when I was 23, begging me to hide the financial discrepancies I had uncovered. I held the screen out to her. "Do you remember this?" She covered her mouth with her hand. "Vivienne, I only wanted to keep the peace." "No," I said softly. "You wanted to keep him comfortable, and you wanted to keep me quiet. That is not peace. That is complicity." Eleanor broke then, shoulders curling inward as tears spilled down her cheeks. My father stared at me, stunned, as if he could not recognize the woman standing in front of him. He tried once more, voice thin. "The Hale legacy cannot end like this. It ended the moment Spencer forged my name." I replied, "All you are seeing now is the consequence. You cannot walk away." He whispered, "I already have." I stepped back toward the elevators. "From now on, all communication goes through my legal team. You will not contact me directly again." Eleanor reached out weakly. "Vivienne, please." I held up a hand, stopping her. "I am not your solution anymore." The elevator opened behind me. I stepped inside and let the doors close, leaving the 2 of them standing in the company I built, surrounded by data, by the future, by everything they once dismissed as worthless. Dana called me that afternoon. Her voice held the kind of composure lawyers use when the truth is already irreversible. "We received a proposal from the Hale legal team," she said. "They are requesting a civil resolution to avoid escalation." I leaned back in my chair. "State it." "They know the lender intends to seize the Townsend house. They know the total callable debt is $14.2 million. They also know you can pursue civil damages for intellectual property theft, fraudulent representation, and unauthorized use of restricted shares. Their lawyers estimate your claim at roughly $30 million. I heard a faint rustle, Marcus joining the call. "They want a way out," he said, "without jail time, without a scandal." Dana continued. "They propose a structured dissolution. Hale and Calder will liquidate assets to repay all callable debt. All rights to the Hale Literary Prize and the archive will transfer to you. In exchange, you agree not to file a civil suit or support criminal prosecution." I considered it. "Does Spencer face oversight?" "Yes," Dana said. 10 years of mandatory financial supervision. He cannot serve as a financial officer or sign on any instrument without a monitor." Marcus added, "If they do not accept, the lender will proceed with seizure this week." "Proceed," I said. Dana hesitated. "You want to accept the proposal. I want this finished." There was a brief pause before she replied, "Then it is over. The Hale legacy will dissolve. The house will go to auction. The company will be sold off." I nodded, though no one could see it. I did not end anything, I said quietly. They ended it when they gambled my life's work. Donna's voice softened. I will finalize the agreements. The call ended, leaving a stillness in the room that felt neither victory nor grief, just the truth settling into place. The agreements were signed within days. By the following week, the Townsend house had been scheduled for auction, and Hale and Calder was already in negotiations to be absorbed by a larger conglomerate. The name would disappear from the industry with less ceremony than a footnote. I spent that evening alone in my office, a single lamp casting enough light for what I needed to do. I opened the folder labeled Hale Family Transfers. A decade of numbers I once believed proved loyalty. Every line reminded me of the years I tried to earn a place in a family that valued silence more than truth. I whispered, "No more," and deleted the file. Before shutting down my computer, I drafted one final instruction to a trust administrator in Boston. Release $1,250,000 to the Eleanor Hale Retirement Fund. Anonymous donor, no contact. I did not owe her that kindness, but I allowed myself to offer it anyway. As I left the building, the quiet felt different. No wait, no waiting. If you have ever walked away from a legacy that refused to see you, I hope my story reminds you that you can build one of your own. And if you are listening now, tell me where you are, because stories like this carry differently when you have lived even a part of them.